Folks, I haven't been looking forward to this day for a long time. It's been something I've known we need to do, but haven't wanted to.
No.
But it got a lot worse this morning after we had already left the house.
Yeah.
We had 3 helpers supposed to come help us today.
Young people.
Yeah, and what we're gonna try to do is clean out all of this tower property here, all of the inside the fence and some other things. And after we are already on the road, they text us and say, oh, sorry, we're gonna have to cancel. Christy, this is why we don't have employees.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys sometimes ask, we don't have any employees. We do everything we do ourselves. It's just us. That's why you see something that, well, we say we're gonna do a follow-up on, and it's months and months before we get to that follow-up.
Right.
We'll do what we can in here. We gotta try to get this worked out. It's poison ivy. This pile here that you see is just trying to get to the gate. This is bad, but this is tower property number 3, and I suspect the last of them for a while. I don't know of any more new ones coming on, but
the silver lining is we're getting paid by the company that owns it to
we get paid to do this.
So
keep reminding me, Christy.
Okay, you're getting paid. You're getting paid. You're getting paid.
Meanwhile, let's get started. Well, this is no fun. No fun at all. Actually, the best part about it is that Christy's being a trooper, and I was going to say helping me, but probably doing most of the work. You know how that goes. This is the stack of stuff we've got out of there. This is what we've done so far. We started over on this side over here. And what we've done with that poison, oh yeah, that's all poison ivy. We've just cut them at the base. All along there, we've cut all of those. But we'll leave it and let it dry. Maybe it'll come down easier another day. And also, we don't have a ladder to get up on the roof, and from the drone shot, we could see a bunch of stuff on the roof. So we're not going to get up there today. We've cleaned all this. Again, poison ivy overhead. Now, I sprayed some of that a week or so ago just from the outside. At that point, I didn't have access inside, but I didn't do much damage, and it doesn't look like I hit that one at all.
Our chainsaws have more battery than we do.
Yeah, we've worked quite some time, and we're still on the first battery on the what is that 200 chainsaw, MSA 200. Now we do have the fancy new batteries, the 500S battery. That thing is supposed to last forever, and yeah, it does. Yeah, I probably should check the chain oil again. What I was told was to fill the chain oil every time you changed batteries, but I think with the 500S battery, it's so good I better be more proactive on that. But here's an example of what we've got. And some of those go in and wrap around, up around some of the tower mechanism itself, so they're not all trivial. There's an old fuel tank in here. I wonder if there was a generator in here at one point. The only good news is for the person on the saw, there's some shade. Okay, we'll work some more at it, and we'll either get around there or we'll give up for the day. I don't know. Our plan is to get the tractor off the trailer and mulch that pile that we put out there, but I'm not going to start that until we get some more of this down. Okay, I think we're done with what we're going to do on the manual work inside. I'll do a little walk around with you to show you what we've done. Now, I didn't spend any time obviously showing you the tools in action. In some ways I feel bad about that, but there was just no way we could do that. Just the two of us, and we're worn out as it is. We just had to put the camera down and work. I will say that without the Stihl tools that we have, you can view this as an advertisement, you can view it however you want, I don't care. But without the Stihl tools, we would not have got this job done. And the battery tools make it so much easier for us. And they're light, they're handy. So everything that's left in here is poison. And we're going to spray it again with Roundup and a mixture of other stuff. And some of it we have actually cut off at the stem, at the root. Some of it we haven't. Some of it's right in the fence. We just couldn't get to where we could cut it. but it looks much different in here. I thought there was a lot of stuff growing on the roof. It turns out there is a little bit up there, but most of it was these trees back here sticking over the top of it. There's some of the trees we got outside. There wasn't as many outside as I thought there was from the first inspection. These are pretty healthy poison plants here. Poison all the way up there. We've cut all of these right next to the building. I just took my pitchfork and held it out, and Christy took a saw and sawed it. I shouldn't say that. I've spent the whole time in the truck, you know, listening to podcasts and stuff. Christy's been doing all the work.
No, you didn't. I'd have been gone home by now if that's what you were doing.
Yeah. I think we both would have been gone home by now if it hadn't been for the other one.
Yeah.
Well, we're not done with this episode yet. Stay tuned. Hey, I'll use one from Neil, Dig Drive DIY. Well, we've both been home and hopefully washed off all the poison ivy. We both got showers, but I'm not really sure that we feel rejuvenated.
No, probably not.
We came back though because we want to try to get all of this gathered up and mulched up if we can. Christy's got the drone up right now, trying to get a little bit of an overview. You're seeing what she's seeing, and there wasn't as much stuff on top of the roof as what we thought, but we've got a big stack of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The good news for me is I'm going to be sitting down for the rest of the evening.
And I'm not.
But I think we'll move this stuff out with the grapple over on the side over there, and that'll give us some room to mulch. It would have been nice if we had a wood chipper. We would have used that all day, and we would have done this as we went. But the truth is, we don't have a wood chipper, and so we're using what we have. Maybe someday. If we were at home, we'd gather this stuff all up and put it in a pile and burn it later on. We just don't feel comfortable doing that here. We're a long way from home, and there's a house right next door.
Would you like me to land the drone on you?
I want them to see the drone land on the... So what does H mean?
Helicopter. That's my helicopter pad. I can tell you that it's better to land it on that and something that's got the grass growing because it doesn't hurt the propellers.
Yeah, it gets down and it starts whipping in the grass.
Yeah.
It's not a very good mower.
No.
First time I've tried to use a grapple on this machine.
Man, do you realize how long it took me to haul all that stuff out there and you just picked it up in one bite?
Yeah, I know it. And it took me a long time to cut it too. One thing I noticed on this tractor is the joystick works pretty well. It's a smooth, comfortable joystick. It's heavier on the 3R. We need to measure that and show in a video, because I think people would be interested in seeing the difference. But the joystick works very nicely. It's much lighter weight. It takes much less strength to move it. Okay, I'm going to cheat a little bit here and see if I can come in at an angle, just because I'm being lazy. How much of that can I get in one load? It's kind of amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. Wish we could have got that inside the fence.
Oh my goodness. How many times did we say that while we were working? I wish we'd get a tractor in here.
Yeah.
Who knows, I might have got more of that load, but
That took me like
no use
50
being greedy.
pulls.
I'm going to stack this right on top of the other ones, and then I'm going to try to mulch these two bunches. Now folks, I've shown you this mulcher many times actually. We've tried it on a whole bunch of different tractors. This is by far the largest tractor we've ever tried it on. And before we get going, let me just say this 75 horsepower tractor is well over the rated maximum for this machine. This mulcher is rated at, I think, maximum 40 PTO horsepower, and we're at 60 PTO horsepower. I'll just say right now that it is a much different machine on this tractor than it is on any other machine we've ever, any other tractor we've ever had. This is the first time I've really appreciated the electronic 3-point hitch. It's just a finger touch, fingertip control, and it really works well. I've got it set so that the maximum height is not near to full height, and that keeps me from setting the angle of the PTO shaft too much.
You sucked it in that time.
The difference is that this tractor has enough horsepower to keep running, keep the hydraulics moving. A lot of times when I would do that with a smaller machine, I wouldn't be able to lift it. So I wouldn't be able to get it out of the bind. I call it a bind, for the heavy load.
Me standing here watching you is a whole lot easier than me feeding it into a chipper.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a chipper is a lot of work, at least from what I've seen. The other aspect that's changed on this mulcher is I now have a chain guard on the front. And so it doesn't shoot things through like a javelin here as much as it did before. It still does shoot things through, but not nearly as much as it did before. I'm also learning that if I mulch while going forward, I don't have that javelin effect. The tractor really is that high. And yes, there is a, you know, a sore neck factor by doing it in reverse, but it's not as bad with this larger tractor because I have enough power. I don't have to be focusing on it quite so much. Now we used to have the MP560, I believe was the name of it. Bigger mulcher, which would have been the right size for this tractor. This is the 348, meaning the 3 series and 48 inches wide. The 560 we had for a while, we were never really able to use it very well, and the reason is this only 75 horsepower tractors we tried it on, or larger tractors, were all gear drive. And for this type of a unit, you really need a hydrostatic. So, you know, I know that one of our peers says, oh, we don't have any need for a 75 horsepower hydrostatic tractor. Oh my goodness, I mean, this is demonstration of that need. Now, this is not something that a 1025 owner is going to want or be able to afford, right? I mean, this is an expensive product. But it's a fairly cost-effective way to mulch. I mean, yeah, I realize this tractor is priced quite high. I know that, but it's still a cost-effective way to mulch. Let me see if I can pick one of these trees here. This looks like a mulberry. Raise up a little bit. Even 75 horsepower can be brought to a stop.
Yeah.
With this mulcher that's rated for 40 horsepower, right? I say 75 and 40, that's not right. I should say 60 and 40. We've got 60 PTO horsepower, it's rated for 40 PTO horsepower.
Well, this is one attachment I don't stand behind. Or in front of the tractor. Whoa!
Now, when it was on the 2038R, it's a totally different machine. It's not nearly as tough as this. Does this beat a skid steer mulcher? Probably not. No. Not at all trying to say that, guys. In one way, that's kind of the way I view the 75 horsepower hydrostatic tractor, is we're finally getting up to skid steer class of horsepower. We still aren't the skid steer class of hydraulics, but we're getting there as far as horsepower. Okay, I'm gonna go get me another grapple full of green stuff. How much do you think I can get in? Well, that's probably about it.
Oh my goodness, that took us hours.
This is the Mini 327 from Precision Manufacturing. I asked them to build one this size for the 3 and 4 series tractors. And of course the comparable size tractors from other manufacturers. They make them in Deere, of course, and SSQA. Some of this is maple and some of it's mulberry. That's pretty much the bulk of what we trimmed out this morning. Oh, and poison ivy.
Throwing a little out the front.
Yep, it'll throw it either out the front or out the back. It doesn't throw too much to the side, except for maybe way behind where it's throwing it backwards. Throw off to the side a little bit. Did a pretty good job mulching. Not as good as a chipper. Less manual labor than a wood chipper. That's as low as I can lower it. Power right on through it, you know. That old one. Whoops, well, maybe not that one. I'm wondering how many stacks I can actually mulch on this one place, you know. Is it going to get deeper and deeper with chips, or how's that going to work? Or is it going to make it where I can more easily mulch? I don't know if you're seeing it here, you're not, but I'm about to run over some of it, so I'm going to turn loose of it and push it over there. But I'm wondering if I can just keep mulching in this same spot, or if I'm going to have to kind of move, or else move the chip pile. Okay, so since this is a little repetitive, I'll probably just come back here in a few minutes and show you our progress. Well, the day hasn't ended quite like I'd hoped. I've got the mulcher on angle mode, except it doesn't have an angle mode. Yeah, the pin here came out. The spring keys, you know how those spring keys work. I guess sticks came out and shot up through there and took the spring key off. And of course I watched behind pretty closely. So as soon as I saw, I couldn't figure out. I thought, this doesn't look right. I didn't have any idea what had happened, but it just didn't look right. And the first rule, when something doesn't look right, doesn't sound right, doesn't feel right, is to stop. And that's what I did. So I don't think I've damaged anything on the mulcher. This lift arm here, we've got that jammed in there all the way to the back here. I'm not even going to try to pull that out here on site. I'll go home and I've got, you know, a lot more tools, a lot more ability to try to pull on it and get this straightened out and see what our lift arm looks like in there. So yeah, that's just the way it goes. I never did like those spring keys, but I don't know what else to use, right? I mean, that's the type of pins we use. Oh, the one just like this right here. So overall though, I would say a very good day. It was not too hot, and that way Christy and I could do the manual part of the work, and I just needed to finish up a little bit more on this pile over here. I wanted to get those mulberry trees out of it, but as it is, I've got it mulched pretty good, and we can't be disappointed with that. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. It's tiring. You can see I'm just leaning on the thing. I'm beat. Christy's beat. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.
There are different kinds of working, but in all of them, and in every one, it's the same God at work.